y'all. I am on the road to my very first assignment. I'm like, I'm so excited. I'm anxious. I'm nervous. I don't know what to expect, but I am ready. My car is full. Like, very first assignment. I think that it's very, very important to highlight that I started doing work far in advance, and I recommend this to everybody. I started applying to travel nurse agencies. I applied to 3 because I'm in a travel nurse group and that's what everyone said to do, and I watched tons of YouTube videos like you are right now. So I applied to 3 agencies and I started doing that back in October of 2018. My assignment actually started in March of 2019, but it was very, very important that I did that in advance because I didn't know very much about travel nursing, and I wanted to make sure that I got the best offer out there possible and the best fit for me. So I started applying, I started going through offers, and I will tell you this, it was not as easy as you think it is. Like, I thought before I started traveling, like, I'm gonna go to the biggest cities, I'm going to go to the best places with the biggest attractions and the most to do and the lowest crime rates and all this stuff. It was my very first time traveling. I was a nurse with less than 2 years of experience, which if you watch the other video, you will see why that's a huge deal. I was stressed out trying to find something because there was a certain date that I was trying to leave by. So definitely start looking at stuff in advance. That's what I did. So it took me a few months to find the perfect fit. For me, I had worked for 18 months in a neuro ICU, so I wanted to keep things as similar as possible. So I knew that policies could change at a different hospital. I knew that the way that they did things could change, where things even were on the unit was going to change. So to keep things as similar as possible was huge for me. I wanted to go to another neuro ICU. When you work in ICU, it's like, oh, you can go to MICU, you can go to SICU, you can go to CVICU. No, I wanted to go to a neuro ICU. I also wanted to stay with the same charting system. I was used to Epic. I wanted to go somewhere with Epic. I wanted to keep the Pyxis the same. There were so many things that I wanted to keep similar, and I want you to know as a travel nurse, you can be extremely nitpicky. You can make everything adjustable to you. So that's what I did for this assignment. Just all of that background research and information when I was trying to figure out where I wanted to go. I ended up landing with St. Louis. That's where I went for the very first travel assignment. And I knew that I was going to a trauma level 1 hospital, and I will tell you, I was freaked out. I worked at a hospital in Kentucky that was, it was a hospital that's in downtown in a very populous large city, but it wasn't level 1. I'm not even sure what level it was. It wasn't like a very small, there were 4 ICUs in the hospital. It's a teaching hospital, but there were like 4 residents at night total, and it was not trauma level 1. So I was very intimidated when I found that out. But I will tell you, if you see trauma level 1, don't shy away from that. The experience, I'll get to that later, but I definitely was like, oh, red flag, but do it. Do it. So also, as I was preparing, I started to research the city, and I'm like, okay, so what is there to do in St. Louis? I went to my pastor. I asked him, what church should I attend? That was very, very big for me. I wanted to have a community of people. I didn't want to just be alone, and I wanted to make sure that I was able to get my worship on at least twice a week whenever I was off on Wednesdays and Sundays. So I asked my pastor which church would he recommend in that city. So it's my first morning here. I've been able to like settle in and get comfortable, as you can see. But I wanted to go to church. I wanted to explore the city. I wanted to take myself out to eat. And the church that my pastor recommended actually canceled their service today. Let me show y'all what it looks like outside. Like, I came right in the middle of a snowstorm. Lucky me. Not going out there. Nope. Yeah, with travel nursing, you can take company housing where they actually deduct it from your check every week, or you can find your own housing, and that may be more or less expensive than whatever they choose for you, but you have the upside of being able to pick where you live. So for me, I wanted to pick where I live. I wanted it to be close to the hospital. I wanted it to be in a populous and safe area. So that was all very, very important for me. So I picked that out on my own, and I did that in advance. I was praying. I found one apartment that I absolutely loved, and I was like, I'm only applying to this one, and I'm just gonna pray about it, and please God, and I ended up getting that apartment. Hey. So I actually got to my apartment a little bit earlier today, but I wanted to unpack my stuff, go grocery shopping, all that stuff. But yeah, it's super cute and nice. was the bathroom. Kitchen. There's like a little dining area. There's like a chair, tables, TV. It's like a little sitting area over here. There's my bed. And closet. Yes, the place was already fully furnished and it came with housewares, which is kind of like your little stuff, your amenities, your dishes, your towels, shower curtain, like little stuff like that. I changed some of it because I wanted it to look a certain way because I'm so picky, but most of the stuff was already here, which is really great and it's super convenient. And it's important to find somewhere that is fully furnished because for 3 months you're not going to move your furniture. So yeah, I moved there, and I moved there about 3 days before my assignment started. It was very important for me to get there in advance. I didn't want to be stressed. I didn't want to freak out. I knew that my orientation was only going to be 3 days. Now, this may sound crazy to someone who has only done staff nursing because, you know, you have weeks and weeks of orientation and you can be like, okay, I need another week because I don't feel ready yet. No, when you start travel nursing, your assignment is going to give you about 2 to 3 days of orientation. So it's very, very different. And it can cause a lot of stress because you're going to be learning everything about this facility in like no time. So it's very important, or it was important for me to get there early to unpack, unwind, settle in, go and see things if I wanted to, and just to have the time to just chill and not stress out about work. Find out how far my apartment was from the hospital, what route I was going to take so I wouldn't be late for my first day, things like that. So I did all of that in advance, and yeah, then I just started. Went in for my first day. I had an orientation with a group of people first. That was our first day. We did an orientation to like general, just the facility, what their rules, policies, regulations were, what was important to them. I also had taken like a ton of tests before I even got to the facility, so I will mention that. And I did that back in Louisville while I was working because it was a ton when I first signed my contract. But when I got there, yeah, we had an orientation all together on the charting system and things like that. Then the second and third day I oriented on the floor with a nurse. 2 days, day shift. She taught me pretty much where everything was and just kind of watched over me to see if I had the hang of everything and the things that were new. And then I was just like off on my own. I work night shift, so then I switched to night the very next week and I was just out here. And it was an amazing experience. I will tell you that. The crew there was just, they were so nice, so friendly. They took to me immediately and they were just so helpful. It's so important for you to be helpful as well. You want to try to impress, you want to try to stay, you may want to extend your contract. So you don't want to burn any bridges. You don't want to come off wrong to the nurses that are working with you because they can go to management and be like, she's not really all that helpful. I mean, we could trade her out for another traveler for real. So definitely be on your P's and Q's. And I mean, that's just generally the type of person that I am. But they were great. Like, I'm literally like, oh my God, scared to go somewhere else because they were just so awesome. I loved those girls there and guys. So yeah, I had an amazing experience on the floor. Things were very different. Like I said, I was at a trauma level 1 hospital this time and I had never worked at one before. There were residents at your beck and call. That was completely new to me. So I was like extremely scared, like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to take trauma patients. Like, what if someone's like shot in the head? It's really not that bad. And there were only a handful of trauma patients on the neuro ICU that I worked on, but it wasn't bad at all. Like, they pretty much come up from surgery all clean, primped, and like you have no idea what had happened to them. It's like taking care of any other ICU patient was not that bad. And like I said, the residents were amazing. There's a doctor there all the time. I could literally go and knock on the neurosurgery or neurology door and be like, hey, I need an order, opposed to like calling and waking someone up in the middle of the night, which is what I had to do at my prior hospital. It was, yeah. So it was an amazing experience. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I love teaching hospitals now, like the ones like that. So yeah, I had an amazing experience. Everyone was really nice. They were very inclusive. I mean, I've heard horror stories where people are like, well, we had breakfast and we're not inviting you because you're a traveler. They were very, very travel friendly. And if you were nice to them, they accepted you off the bat. So they were great. What else can I tell you? Oh yeah, so I'm going to tell you more things that were different. The hospital that I went to was a union. They were a union hospital. So they had very strict policies about ratios. Like, you weren't going to be getting tripled all the time. You were like, you know, I'm an ICU nurse. I had my 2 patients. Sometimes I would have 1, but most days I had 2. That was great because at the old hospital that I worked at, we would get tripled all the time. Like, it was just so annoying. So being in that environment was great. It's like, oh, I'm gonna only have 2 patients. They made sure that they took care of the staffing. So unionized hospitals are absolutely great. Medications, there were different medication policies, like just administrations. We would mix some medications on the floor, where at my old hospital we didn't do that. There were some medicines that needed sign-offs or had different maximum drip rates. So look all of that stuff up when you get there. Make sure you know where to find the policies. Make sure you know how to administer the medications and where to find that in the computer system, because some of that stuff was just a tad bit different. Not very different. It was easy to adjust because, like, once you're a nurse, you kind of know how to ride the bike, but some people may ride it just a little bit different. So yeah, those things were just a tad different. What else was different? Oh, floating. So at my last hospital, you would kind of have to float every now and then, but they tried to keep you on your home unit. Whereas when you're a travel nurse, you're going to float first. So if there's a staff nurse there, she's going to be on her unit. She's accustomed to this unit. She's been here for years, or how many ever, whatever. So you as a travel nurse, you haven't been there that long, and you just kind of go wherever they need you. I didn't float that much. I would say maybe once every 2 weeks, maybe once every 2 weeks. But it really wasn't bad because everywhere that I floated, people were pretty helpful, and they know when you're a traveler, so they know to kind of offer help. And it's like, oh, do you need help knowing where something is, or do you need help with this or that? So everybody was great. That won't be the case everywhere. I'm aware of that. I had a great experience at my first travel assignment, but I just want to let you know, like, if you don't know something, if you go somewhere different, don't be afraid to be like, hey, I don't know where this is, I need help. It's better to ask for help than to get like neck deep in BS and be like, oh my god, now I'm drowning and I need help. So definitely just ask for help in advance and try to make friends, try to be pleasant. Somebody will be receptive to it. So yeah, that was pretty much my assignment. I spent 13 weeks at that hospital. It was great. I saw all types of new things. I saw new procedures. The neurosurgery there was like on a different level. There were neurosurgeons that like created different procedures that I had never even heard of where I'm from. So I learned a lot. I got to see a lot. We also took ENT patients, so I saw like all kinds of things that I would never have seen on the unit that I was on before. So I just learned a ton. I made lots of friends. I got to go out and experience the city. I made a promise to myself, okay, like, you're gonna work, you work 3 days a week, take yourself out at least once a week. So what I would do is I would try to go to church on Wednesday or Sunday anytime I was free. I would also try to take myself out, whether that was to dinner, whether that was out to a lounge, but at least once a week I would take myself out as well. It was a great way to just feel the atmosphere of the city. I went to like botanical gardens. I went to a city museum. Where else did I go? I went to tons of restaurants. Just walks through the downtown area, walks to the Arch, because I live very, very close to that. If you've seen the apartment in this video, it's very, very close to the Arch. So definitely take yourself out and try to do things. Don't just sit in your apartment. Like, you came and you did this to explore as well. Like, it's great money. Traveling is great for great money, but also it's great for getting a feel for different places and just exploring and getting to know and meet new people. So definitely make sure you do that as well. Also, I mean, the staff at my hospital was just amazing. The manager was great. They all offered referrals before I left. They also offered an extension, which I'm like, oh my god, I definitely have to go back to that place if I don't find another place to settle down. But I decided not to extend because I'm like, I just want to see more of the world and I want to see it in a very short amount of time. But that place was amazing.
So I'm getting ready to go in for my very last shift. Oh, I'm sad.
So yeah, I mean, that was my experience there. It was absolutely great. I'm about to head out on another travel experience. A lot of people have asked me on social media, like, where are you going next? And I will be the first to tell you. I decided to take 7 weeks off, so I'm not traveling right now. I'm at home, I'm chilling, I'm relaxing, I'm hanging out with my niece and my family. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm between assignments. I haven't even locked one in yet. I have like another month before I'm gonna actually get out and start working again. But that's the great thing about traveling. It gives you freedom and versatility, although it gives you like, I don't really know what my next step is as well, for us analytical and OCDers out there. But it has been a great and fabulous journey. So anyone who is thinking about travel nursing, I definitely recommend it. I also recommend that you watch the other video that I have on my channel about this as well. So you can keep up with me on social media. I have those links below, and I also have a blog that I post on below linked as well. So watch out for my next video, guys. If you all have any questions or anything like that, you can comment below, and you can also DM me on social media. I reply to like everything. So I will see you all next time.